In 2007, a significant incident unfolded at a Portuguese resort, later earning the moniker the crime of the century. Madeleine McCann, a 3-year-old from the UK, vanished inexplicably from her hotel room, thrusting the investigation into the forefront of global attention. This enigma ignited international controversies, drawing even the parents of the girl to an audience with the Pope. Despite intense scrutiny over 13 years, the puzzle remained unsolved. However, recent revelations have brought forth startling new details. In this video, we compile all available information to explore the central question: what fate befell Madeleine McCann? Madeleine McCann was born on May 12, 2003, into a family of doctors and was a long-awaited child. Her parents faced some reproductive difficulties and reportedly even utilized IVF technology. 2 years later, twins Sean and Amelie were born into the family. In late April 2007, the McCanns went on vacation to Praia da Luz with their family friends and their children. The vacation was supposed to last a week. The family stayed not in a campground, but in quite respectable apartments on the ground floor of a 5-story building. Resort visitors could avail themselves of the services of a kids' club, a nighttime nanny, dine at one of the many restaurants, go to the pool, or to the sea, which was literally just 200 meters from the building. On Thursday, May 3rd, everything was as usual. At 10 in the morning, Madeleine and the twins stayed at the kids' club while their parents went for a walk. At 12:30 p.m., Kate and Gerald picked up the children, had lunch together with their company, and went with the little ones to the pool. The family had fun. Everyone was swimming and taking pictures. The last photo of Madeleine was taken by her mother at 2:30. In the picture, the girl sits between her father and younger sister on the edge of the pool and laughs. At 3:30 p.m., the children returned to the kids' club, where they had dinner at 5:30. At 6 o'clock, Kate took them to the apartment and Gerald went to play tennis. At 7 p.m., the children were given a snack, read a bedtime story, and put to bed. The spouses spent some more time in the room, washed up, changed clothes, had some wine, made sure the children were asleep. At 8:30, Gerald and Kate were already in the restaurant. Around 9 p.m., when almost the entire group had gathered, the adults arranged among themselves to take turns checking on the children. At 9:05 p.m., Gerald returned to the room and noticed the partially open door between the master bedroom and the children's room. This seemed strange to him because he and his wife always left it fully open. He checked on the children, but everything was in order. The toddlers were fast asleep in their own cribs. Gerald went to the bathroom, washed his hands, and returned to the restaurant. At 9:30, Kate planned to check on the toddlers. However, Matthew Oldfield, who went to check on his own children, suggested she also peek into the McCann's room. Later, he would say that he only clearly saw the twins, glanced at them briefly, and had no idea if Madeleine was in the room at that time. However, there's one oddity. From the children's room window, the older girl's crib was clearly visible. How could it have been missed? It's a mystery. So there's suspicion that Oldfield didn't look through the window at all. The children aren't crying. The doors aren't broken. There's no smoke coming from the window. Well then, everything's fine. At 10 p.m., Kate went to check on the children. The window in the children's room was open, the curtains were drawn, and Madeleine was missing from her bed. The mother immediately raised the alarm. At 10:30 p.m., the search for the girl began. The police got involved. But try as they might, the Portuguese authorities couldn't find a trace of the little girl. Initially, the police's first thought was that Madeleine had left the room on her own and gotten lost. They searched all the nearby areas around the resort, checked the pools, wells, and bushes, but found nothing. Then the police abandoned the theory of Madeleine wandering off in favor of abduction. The thing is, Jane Tanner, one of the McCann's friends, saw a man carrying a barefoot child in pink pajamas down the street at 9:15 p.m. She reported this to the police, and even a rough sketch was made. However, until May 25th, the police did not make this portrait public. Then the police began to lean towards a new version. Madeleine's disappearance was due to her parents. Investigators suspected that the girl died due to negligence, and the McCanns hid the body to avoid losing custody of the twin. Service dogs brought in from England barked in the apartment where the girl's family lived. The investigation concluded that this indicated the presence of blood behind the couch and the scent of a corpse on the girl's toy. Kate and Gerald explained that Madeleine's blood in the apartment could indeed be there. The girl had a nosebleed a few days before she disappeared. In 2011, the British police decided to reopen the investigation, considering the efforts made to find Madeleine in 2007 to be completely inadequate. Investigators rejected the involvement of the parents and decided to focus on the abduction by a stranger. They investigated suspicious hotel employees, window cleaners, deceased pedophiles who lived nearby in 2007. In 2013, the Portuguese police also decided to reopen the investigation, which, given the way the initial investigation was conducted, didn't look good. Since November 2013, the investigation has been conducted jointly by the British and Portuguese. Many versions were worked out until 2020 when the British announced. The abduction of Madeleine McCann is suspected to have been committed by German Christian Bruckner. Christian Bruckner has an extensive criminal record, including robbery, thefts, sexual violence against minors and one pensioner, drug trafficking, and distributing child pornography. In 2017, he decided to boast about his exploits to a drinking buddy and showed him a video on his mobile phone of the rape of an elderly woman. The drinking buddy reported him to the police, and Christian was arrested. Here's the interesting part. At the time of Madeleine's disappearance, Bruckner lived in Portugal not far from Praia da Luz. He knew the area well and could move freely because he owned two vehicles, a van and a Jaguar XJoy R6 with German plates. And in archived NASA satellite images, his van was spotted near the crime scene. The day before Madeleine's abduction, Bruckner told his girlfriend that he had a terrible job planned in Praia da Luz for the next day. He warned her that he might briefly disappear off the radar. The day after the girl's abduction, Christian transferred ownership of his Jaguar to another owner. The car remained in Portugal. The police are searching for both vehicles because they believe that evidence may have been left behind in them. On May 23, 2023, the Portuguese police announced that they had decided to search the reservoir area near the Arade Dam for several reasons. Firstly, a prisoner who was incarcerated in the same prison as Christian Bruckner told the police about a conversation with the suspect. According to his testimony, Bruckner often visited the area around this reservoir, and it is located just 50 kilometers from Praia da Luz. Secondly, in 2008, divers already searched the reservoir, but at that time, the water level was significantly higher. The drought in 2023 caused the water to recede quite far. Joint forces of Portuguese, German, and British police will focus on searching the shoreline. During the searches, items of interest were found, which are now being examined by forensic experts. It's difficult to say whether there is a connection between these items and the Madeleine McCann case until all the examinations are completed. Investigators haven't lost hope of linking Bruckner to this abduction and finding out what really happened. But for now, all we know is that the little girl seemed to vanish into thin air at a busy resort, just 50 meters from her parents, while her brother and sister peacefully slept in their cribs. Madeleine McCann could have been 20 years old now. Her parents still search for her and miss her, and surely they think that everything would have been different if they hadn't skimped on a nighttime nanny. if they hadn't considered the view from the table enough of a safety measure, if they had closed the door and taken turns going to the restaurant instead of going together. And as we come to the end of this video, let's remember that the search for answers continues. The mystery surrounding Madeleine McCann's disappearance remains unsolved. But with each new lead and development, hope persists. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay informed, stay curious, and never lose hope.